Ed? Ooh,
Whoa.
all right. Now it's serious. I will call the Planning Commission meeting of May 4th, 2021 to order.
How about June 1st,
What'd I say?
May 4th?
He's
June
thinking of
1st.
his birthday.
You got it. Forgive me. June 1st, 2021 to order. Can I have roll call, please?
Commissioner Holt,
Present.
Commissioner Gregory,
Present.
Vice Chair DeLuna,
Present?
Chair Greenwood,
Here.
and Commissioner Perdetto is absent tonight.
Wonderful. Would Commissioner Holt lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Sure, this time I'll turn off my phone so I don't have feedback and don't get confused with remembering the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United
of
States
the United States of America,
To the republic
Republic,
which
which is
stands
stands
one
one
nation,
what they
under God,
under God,
God,
indivisible.
indivisible,
visible.
liberty and
liberty
justice.
and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Can I have the summary of council actions, please?
The city council is considering design guidelines for dining decks throughout the city, whether they're on private property or within the public right of way along Highway 111's frontage road or El Paseo. They've actually given the task back to staff, asked us to figure out a process that can extend the existing temporary use permits for these dining decks for another year and allow the summer for restaurateurs to install different safety guidelines and to enhance some of the designs of the dining decks there. But the information for you is that those look like they'll stay in place for about another year. That's the only reportable thing I have this time. Oh, I'm sorry, let me take that back. It's been a while, but the Chandi project right here on San Pablo and Frederick also went to the city council and received unanimous approval. And in that report, we made mention of additional conditions for landscape that were born here at the Planning Commission. That's all I have.
Great. Appreciate that, Eric. So moving on to oral communications. Any person wishing to discuss an item not appearing on the agenda may address the Planning Commission via the Zoom session at this point by giving his or her name and address for the record. Remarks shall be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes unless the Planning Commission authorizes additional time. Because the Brown Act does not allow planning commissioners to take action on items not on the agenda, members will not enter into discussion with speakers, but may briefly respond or instead refer the matter to staff for a report and recommendation at a future Planning Commission meeting. Is there anyone in the audience this evening that wishes to speak on an item not on the agenda? Hearing none. We'll move on to the consent calendar. All items listed on the consent calendar are considered to be routine. It will be enacted by a one roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless members of the Planning Commission or audience request specific items to be removed from the consent calendar for separate discussion. In action under Section 7, consent items held over of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
I move for approval.
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. Call for the vote, please.
Commissioner Holt,
Yes.
Commissioner Gregory,
Aye.
Vice Chair DeLuna,
Aye.
and Chair Greenwood.
Aye.
That motion passes 4-0 with Commissioner Perdetto absent.
Thank you. Okay. We have no consent items held over, no new business, no continued business. We'll move on to public hearings. Anyone who challenges any hearing matter in court may be limited to raising only those issues he or she raised at the public hearing described herein or in written correspondence delivered to the Planning Commission at or prior to the public hearing. Remarks shall be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes unless the Planning Commission authorizes additional time. Forgive me, did I jump over something?
Committee report.
Eric, did I do here?
We have no public hearings tonight.
Oh, forgive me. Okay. So miscellaneous, informational item on the parcel waivers by Eric Sayon.
Yeah, I apologize. I turned off my camera. I'm having some lag here, but we wanted to bring this item to your attention. It's not necessarily a zoning ordinance amendment, as this section of the code is in our subdivision ordinance of the city, Title 26 of the city's municipal code. But in our research, parcel map waivers have a unique process in Palm Desert in that they require a planning commission consideration and hearing anytime someone wants to do a lot line adjustment or a parcel merger. And so in trying to find ways to expedite our review process and get these things done quicker, we wanted to bring to your attention that we plan on taking a ordinance amendment forward to the city council that would remove the planning commission from considering these items. These items are pretty non-controversial. You see them, there's 200 items on your agenda today. Essentially on days like this where we don't have public hearings, we don't have a large agenda, we still need to host a meeting just so you can consider this and get it in approval. Other cities don't require planning commission approval. It's done at a staff level. As long as the applicant can meet all the technical requirements, they work with the city engineer to get those documents recorded at the county. Then the process is pretty much done that way. So we would like to at least inform the planning commission that moving forward, should the city council approve it, parcel map waivers would not come before this commission. And then I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
Eric, that wouldn't preclude any other consent calendar items, would it?
No, so things like minutes, time extension requests would still be on the consent calendar. It's just you wouldn't see parcel map waivers in the future.
Okay.
Eric, can you think of an instance where a parcel map waiver, there's been a benefit in bringing it to the planning commission? And or would the amendment to the ordinance allow for the option to bring it in front of planning commission if you felt there was value in doing so?
So as currently proposed for modification, there isn't the ability to call it up by the planning commission. And in the time that I've been at the city for 8 years, I haven't seen a lot of benefit. I can think of maybe one time there was a question on it, on a particular parcel map waiver, but they really are non-controversial. You already have 1 or 2 property owners that have consented to having this done. And it doesn't preclude us from applying any of our development standards to these lots. What typically happens is you have, or where we see a lot of these happen is in our higher end communities or homes that back to a golf course, and they're looking for an extra foot or 2 from the golf course to expand a pool, a guest house or something to that effect.
I think, Eric, correct me if I'm mistaken, but at one point we had in one of those more exclusive communities, we had 2 neighbors who were kind of squabbling over whether or not somebody wanted a foot of somebody else's property that one homeowner thought. Am I correct in that? Was that a lot line adjustment issue that we dealt with?
Not that I can think of, because a lot line adjustment would require both property owners to consent to it, as you're adjusting the boundaries, not just for 1 lot usually, but for 2.
Okay. And they would then abide by staff recommendation?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Eric, this is just a courtesy you're doing this evening. We don't need to motion or anything, right?
That's correct. We do plan on moving to the city council, but this is just a miscellaneous item to bring to your attention. And any specific questions I'm here to answer. And if you had any concerns you wanted to register with the city council, we can bring those forward as well when we move the ordinance forward.
Okay. I think one thing that's really key is, especially considering the way other cities do it, if there's not something that really benefits the process and it's just another level that someone has to go through without any real benefit to it, I support staff here. I think it makes sense to simplify it.
We think so too. And again, it does really prolong the process that applicants are going through as we try to get it scheduled for a planning commission agenda.
Right.
So I do think there's some benefit in modifying this ordinance, and in looking at it, we haven't modified this ordinance or taken another look at it since 1983.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Thank you.
Here.
All right, we'll move on to committee meeting updates. Can we have Art in Public Places?
Yes, so at the previous meeting, 5 finalists for the San Pablo Roundabout improvement art piece were chosen, and they will be making their presentation at the July meeting. So I will go ahead and forward those presentations to all of you. I'm sure you're interested to see them, or feel free to attend the Zoom meetings. They often go for 4 or 5 hours though, so I don't know how many of you would be interested in spending your entire Wednesday morning with the AIPP, but I will get back in touch with you all after the July meeting and can take a look at the finalists' presentations for the roundabout.
Lindsay, is this for the roundabout at Magnesia Falls in San Pablo, or back up on the stage 1 of the San Pablo?
Near 111,
Oh,
the
okay.
northernmost roundabout.
Okay.
That is all.
Appreciate that. Eric, I was not able to attend the last Parks and Rec. Any updates?
We actually canceled the last Parks and Rec, so we'll have one in June.
Eric, I'm finding that, and again, I apologize about this, but I'm finding Tuesdays very difficult for me to attend. I'm getting a lot of conflicts with business. If that seems to be an issue, please let me know. I'm doing my best to get on those, but it's just proving to be really hard.
Not a problem. If you prefer, you could always step down from being the liaison and ask for a new appointee from the Planning Commission.
Yeah, if anyone is interested in it, please speak up, let me know. Otherwise, I'll continue to do my best. I just don't want to let anyone down. It's just proving to be a hard time commitment.
These meetings are Tuesday morning,
Yeah, 8 a.m., 8:30, like normal, I think 8:30 in the morning.
like when normal people are working. Lindsay's semi-retired. I'm just teasing.
So anyways,
Well, that's
it's a tough time. All right, with that, do we have any reports or remarks? Hearing none, I will entertain an adjournment.
So moved.
so seconded.
Wonderful. Thank you,
Lindsay.
everybody.
Congrats to
What?
Yeah,
No,
thank you all.
my hair's off to Lindsay for all that time that she spends with Art in Public Places.
I know
Congrats.
you